Hey, Steve Gamache here for Chef Knives to Go with another quick look product review. And what we have this time is the Kohetsu Aogami Super Nakiri 165mm knife. So this knife is composed of what's known as Aogami Blue Paper Super Reactive High Carbon Steel. This steel has a little bit more alloying over some of the other Aogami steels like number 1 and number 2. And it's got typically higher heat treat hardness and also higher edge retention as well. This construction is 3 layers, so there's soft stainless cladding on either side of that Aogami Super. And so this will make for a little bit easier maintenance. The edge steel is what you have to worry about as far as corrosion goes, but you should still use these, wash them, dry them thoroughly, and put them away after you're done using them, and just don't let them sit wet. Weight and dimensions should be pretty similar from knife to knife. These are made in a very consistent manner. The heat treat's great on these, and they've got some testing on it. So the heat treat's about 64 Rockwell on that. So pretty high hardness for Aogami Super, but this will give you superior edge retention as well. And they're still really pretty easy to sharpen with good sharpening stones. The weight is about 131 grams or 4.6 ounces on this sample. Handles what they call octagonal, get that right, magnolia or hoe wood, and buffalo horn. So it's a lightweight handle. Buffalo horn is kind of a nice classic material for handle a lot of ferrules right now, or black packawood, but buffalo horn's a nice touch on that. The lightweight knife overall and the lightweight handle helps bring that balance point forward a little bit. The edge length is right about 165 millimeters on the usable part from the back of the heel to the corner of the tip. And then the overall length is about 3 millimeters or almost 12 inches. Spine thickness, these are pretty thin. They've got a fair amount of stiffness to them as well. I got about 2.3 millimeters on the back of the blade, and then about halfway down I got about 2.15, and pretty much just keeps that all the way to the end, maybe about 2 millimeters at the end, but pretty consistent on the thickness. Height-wise, about 48.25 millimeters on the back of the heel. Halfway up, I got about 46.9. So it's not a super tall Nakiri knife. Some ones are a bit taller than this. The fit and finish on the handle is nicely done. It is, again, octagonal. You can see it's not finished on the end. That's kind of raw wood there, but got a little bit of a finish to the main part. You've got a slight step here from the wood to this black buffalo horn sleeve, but that's kind of pretty normal. And they've got a nice tight seal glue up job there where the tang goes into the handle, so nice job on that. Again, the balance point of that handle being lighter is great because it brings your balance point forward more, which it should be with this style of knife. So there's your balance point. Pinch grip for me is pretty close to that, maybe just a little behind, but it's a light, nimble Nakiri knife. Doesn't have a lot of heft to it, but it's, again, very light and nimble. The grind is definitely high performance. These are thin at the edge. They will glide through food very, very well. And you can't really feel a big grind transition from the spine to the edge. It's just kind of a consistent, kind of right in here it starts thinning out. So these won't really wedge much. You might get a little bit of food suction on these, just given the finish and a little bit flatter construction and from more linear from spine down to edge, but these should not wedge at all. They should glide through stuff. Fit and finish is nicely done on these. Let's do our beauty shot here. So we've got some embossed kanji on the right side of the blade. You can see some vertical finishing marks here. It's a little hard to tell. Right about there you can kind of tell there's your cladding, and then there's your core steel peeking out from the edge there, from the cladding. Here's the left side of the blade, unadorned. And then fit and finish wise, they've put some work into cleaning up the spine. They've polished and relieved the choil a little bit, so it's fit and finish is good on these. Nice fit and finish. The out of the box edge, I'll say 6, maybe 7 out of 10 on my scale. So they had a nice out of the box edge. These are known to be pretty sharp out of the box, so you can take these things and go right out of the box with them. This has a pretty flat profile. You'll see the tip, again, is kind of rounded to a slight point, not too much. So I can rock with this, no problem, but it is pretty flat. So you can see there's not much roll there at all. So this is quite flat, And if you like to chop, this is your profile. Cool thing about these is the core steel is reactive, so as you start using the knife, that'll build up a patina, and it gives a nice contrast against the stainless cladding. So it makes the knife look really nice over time. Have a nice aesthetic factor to it. So this is a high performance knife with great steel. Easy to care for, just don't let it sit wet. You'll get a lot of years of use out of this, and again, the steel's great. Nice edge retention, relatively easy to sharpen, just a great combination. So this is the Kohetsu Aogami Super Nakiri 165mm knife from Chef Knives to Go.